Chris, congratulations. We were just talking about Glenn Murray. Maybe we should start there. You started him today, and he got you 2 goals. How pleased were you with him?
Yeah, no, delighted, particularly with the first goal. The penalty, it can go either way, and he showed obviously that a quality and composure on that one. But I thought the first goal in itself, the execution was excellent, and a really good start for him.
I mean, it might have raised a few eyebrows at the age of 37, having not played much football lately. Did you have any doubts at all about starting him?
No, and he hasn't played a lot of football as regards sort of games. One thing that I do know about Glenn is that he's a fit lad. He looks after himself, and aerobically he's always been able to cover good distances. He's not a player that's ever had to rely on his pace. It's about that sort of nous that he's got around the box and his willingness to want to continue playing. So no, I must admit, probably somebody in a different position than that Glenn plays, but no qualms playing him.
Yeah, for somebody who hasn't played much and hasn't scored a goal for a while, just 6 minutes in to take that first one the way he did and confidently lob the goalkeeper, that says a lot about him as well, doesn't it?
Well, he's a number 9, and he's a number 9 that's used to scoring goals. I must admit the large majority of his goals tend to be inside the box. He's not somebody that scores many. I don't know if it was just inside, but certainly he's not a striker that scores a lot of goals outside the box, but he's got a composure about him, and once he gets into areas where he feels there's an opportunity to score, then he'll certainly always be up to take it.
I think a lot of people, when you sign him, given to keep going on about it, the amount of football that he had played lately and largely off the bench, might have thought that that might be his main use for you, maybe as an impact player off the bench, to change things up, give you a different option. Do you see it a different way? Do you see him starting matches, or at least pushing to start in more matches this season?
Yeah, well, the way that I looked at it is that I know Glenn well, I know his abilities well, and what that does do, it gives us three number 9s. Even when Guerrero was here, we saw him more as a 10, but of course in Lewis Grabbin and Glenn and Lyle Taylor, that gives us really good options. So it was always a case of bringing Glenn in, seeing where he is at this moment, and using him the best way that I can. So whether that's starting him, whether that's coming off the bench and making an impact, and it's about certain games, and it's about making sure that we have that level of competition up top.
Yeah, you didn't have Lewis Grabbin, of course, in the 20 today. Was he injured?
Yes, he was. Yes, it was something that he felt in the last game, just at the sort of back of his lower part of his hamstring, which is very minimal, I would say, and it was one that we couldn't really afford to take that risk today. So we're hoping that he's going to train certainly in the latter part of the week, and see if he's available, of course, for next weekend.
When you spoke at the start of the week to my colleague Colin Fray, you said it was an important week, that it was ahead, playing both Coventry and Wycombe. In the end, you got 6 points out of those. How pleased are you with that week's work in the end? Well,
it's an important week, and I was very conscious that it's also a big week because of the teams that we are playing and their positions in the league. But I think it was also a big week for us because we had been on a really good run. We had the disappointment of the Middlesbrough game, which sort of stopped that run, and after a really good result midweek, and on the back of a good first half performance and a performance at Coventry where we had to really dig in that second half, it was important that we came here and showed the same sort of qualities, which we had to today. And these are a team that are fighting for their place in this the division, and they showed on lots of periods today why they will continue fighting, and it was a tough game for us.
Yeah, and it's so tough down at the bottom of the Championship, isn't it? I mean, you've only lost 1 in the last 10 games in the league, and yet there you are, still only 4 points clear of the relegation places. It's so tight and so hard down there at the moment to put much distance, isn't it? In terms of positions, you're up to 17th, but it's hard, isn't it, at the moment for any team, because others like Rotherham just keep on winning.
I think that's what we're up against at the moment, and I remember this situation last season, I think with Stoke, where Stoke changed the manager, and he came in and done really well for a period of time, and they didn't seem to move that much, and that's how competitive this division is, and I think particularly this season. And that's why it's important and imperative that we still continue to try and win as many games as we can.
Yeah, good win today. Congratulations. Thanks very much, Chris. Good to talk to you.
Thank you. You're welcome.